We've talked about Minecraft as a way of connecting with your kids and grandkids, but getting started with the game is a bit of a learning curve. So, my grandson Noah is a Minecraft pro, and I wanted to speak with him about the basics. That is, if he can even remember the basics of getting up and running. So, today I'm going to discuss getting started with Minecraft basics with my grandson and special guest Noah. Stay tuned. Well, this is Tech Tips for Seniors, a show with tips for seniors, or anyone really, on how to better use technology such as smartphones and computers in your daily lives. And I'm your host, Bruce Ciotta, and I'm here with my special guest, my grandson, Noah. Hi, Noah.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. So today's show is on getting started with Minecraft basics. And I think there are many people out there that if they knew how much fun Minecraft was, they'd want to give it a try. Yet getting started with Minecraft, for me anyway, just like many other new things, it takes learning the basics first. I still remember the very first time I got onto the game and I stood around looking around at the game field and I didn't even know the first thing to do. And so what are the first things, Noah, that you need to know in order to play Minecraft?
I think the first thing you need to know is how to move, how to gather resources, how to build things, and how to break things.
Okay. All right, good. So I'd like to do a little demo. We'll try this out just to take a look first at how to move. What are the basics of moving? Just so we can go over that.
There's a program called WASD that the simple way of explaining it is W makes you move forward, S is backwards, A is to the left, and D is to the right.
Good. So it's sort of like if you look at your keyboard, I'm looking at it while you're talking about it, the letters W, A, S, and D are in one place where you could keep your fingers on those keys all the time, and you can move forward, backward, or left and right by just pressing down those buttons. Let's see how that works. So we're going to push the W key and move forward. And you can see that my field of vision is moving forward with my character. You can see one hand sticking out, and the character is moving forward as we get closer and closer to the things we're looking at. Now if we go S for backwards, we're actually walking backwards. The character is making a reverse or retreat from where he was a moment ago. And then if I'm moving the mouse left and right a little bit so that I can see my field of vision shifts with me but I'm not moving anywhere. And now I'm going to try to move to the left. So I'm facing this mountain out there, an island in the water, and I'm going to move leftward, and you can see how the character's going in the left direction. Same thing with the right direction. That was with the A, and now the D is the right direction for showing moving right. You don't do those that often. At least my experience was I just move forward most of the time, and once in a while I need to make a step back. But most of the movements have to do with looking around with my mouse to see what's in my field of vision around me. Okay, so now we showed a little bit about how to get started with moving. Let's talk a little about gathering resources. So what items are important to gather in your very beginning stages as a new player?
Well, there's three main items that you can find in a world almost right off the bat. Wood.
I'm guessing that
stone.
comes from trees.
Yeah, wood comes from trees, stone comes from stone, and dirt comes from the ground.
Okay, let's show a little bit about how we gather up those things. Here comes a tree. Okay, so there's a nice tree to gather. Got to try to take it down. Now it's kind of hard to do because you have to break wood. And without a tool, it's tricky. But it does break. You just have to hit it a lot of times. And now as you gather these blocks, they're going down into the bottom tray as one of the resources that's available. And you can see the count going up as we break blocks of wood. Now we have 3 blocks of wood and 1 more ahead of us that we just scooped up and put in our inventory tray. And so that's going up to 5. That's how we've gotten now 5 wood logs. Okay, so what else do we want to gather? Let's see if we can gather some dirt. How do we gather dirt? Okay, so this is dirt, and we're just going to click on a block of dirt and break it. And as it's broken, it gathers up into the inventory. You can see now we're up to 4, 6, 7 blocks of dirt, 8, 9, and those blocks are now in the inventory. Now what we'd really like to have is stone, but stone is harder to break than logs or dirt, just logically speaking. And there's some stone, but breaking it is really hard. You have to click on it a lot of times, and it does break. Okay, so we were able to gather up. Oh, where did the stone go? I don't see it in the inventory. We need a tool in order to get it, and so that we're going to have to learn about crafting tables in order to do that. Okay, so we gathered up some resources, but right away I realized that in order for me to gather up some stone, I need to gather it up with a tool. It takes a pickaxe in order to gather up stone. You have to chop it with a pickaxe. But where do you get a pickaxe from?
You can get a pickaxe from making wood from using a crafting table. But in order to make a crafting table, you need wood, which we gathered in that last demo.
Okay.
So we're going to show you how to turn the wood into wooden planks, and then turn the planks into a crafting table.
Okay, so that's what we need. Let's do it.
And then we'll also show you how to make a pickaxe with the crafting table, and then the final thing in this demo, we'll mine some stone.
Oh,
and
boy.
Show you that we can pick it up now.
All right, we got our work cut out for us. Let's do it. We're going to try to take some of the wood we have and to turn it into planks, which is our first step. So let's take the wood in our inventory, and you'll see we're going to click on the letter E for inventory, and then drop the logs up into the space that's labeled crafting. And you see that on the right side where the logs point to a little arrow, and that's the planks over on the right hand side. So if you click on the planks, you can take as many of those as the logs will produce. And so you can click on them a couple of times, and now what we've done is we've turned 6 logs into 24 planks of the same material, being oak. So that gets us started. Now that's what we needed, the planks, in order to create the crafting table. So let's put the planks up into the crafting area. Now in this case, you have to take the planks and you have to spread them around into all 4 of the boxes. And as you drop some planks into each box, you'll see that the result is a crafting table. So now you can take that crafting table and drag that down into your inventory. So you've taken logs and you turn them into planks. You turn planks into a crafting table. And the crafting table is what you need in order to make the tools. So let's plop the crafting table down somewhere, and then we'll click on the crafting table. And when the crafting table is clicked on, you'll see that it opens up a larger method for crafting. And what we're going to need to do is formulate the way the tools need to look in the recipe. So since we don't know the recipe, we're going to click on this little book. And that book opens up the ability to either search for what you want to make, or if you know, you can pick it by the menu on the left. But in our case, we're going to type pickaxe. And so we type that out. Oh, we first need to make sticks in order to get the pickaxe. And so we have to take some of our logs or our planks and turn them into sticks. You can click on that and get a number of sticks, or just take the 4 that come out from 1. Okay, so now we've got the sticks we need to get our pickaxe. Now we can go back and make a wooden pickaxe. And if you see the wood there on the top left, the wooden pickaxe, there it is. Click on it and you see the recipe is filled in for you based on the inventory that you have. So now you can just take your pickaxe out of the space and now you have a tool. So all that just to make one pickaxe, but that's what we need in order to go and mine some stone. Now we'll go back to that place where we're trying to take some stone up and we'll see what happens when we click on it. This time, as we break the stone blocks, you can move them into your inventory by bringing yourself into the space where those blocks are and they float down into your inventory. You can see now we're up to 10 blocks of stone. Now, if you really want to be crafty, you can go back to the crafting table, and now this time you can make a stone pickaxe because you have some stronger material now. The stone enables you to pull out a pickaxe that is stronger than a wooden pickaxe, and that will last longer as you're doing your mining than a wooden one would. Okay, so we've talked about gathering resources and mining, but how do you build in Minecraft? I see a lot of structures. How do they get created?
Well, first we should start with the clicks. Right mouse click, you can place an object that's in your hand.
Okay.
Left mouse click, you delete the object you start breaking the object that your crosshair in the middle of the screen is looking at.
Got it.
And if you're using not a mouse, one finger on the mouse pad is breaking and 2 is placing.
Okay, so now let's say you place. How do you get a building?
So what happens is you have to place a block, and then you're able to place another block on top of it. And maybe you want to place a block to the side, and the other side, and up again, and down again.
Oh, I think I get it. So maybe we need to show a little demo.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Some materials that we've gathered up, their resources, and we're going to build a very basic structure that anyone could build in a very short time. So the first thing to explain is down at the bottom in what you might call your toolbar is the positions of where those materials are located. And if you look down at the bottom, you'll see that I have 64 of the logs, and then I have 64 planks, and I've also got some glass that we put in a door. So those are going to be our basic materials. Those things are in positions 1, 2, 3, and 4 of your keyboard. So the number 1 would select the first one, and number 2 will select the second item. So let's start with number 2, and we're going to use the wood planks, the oak planks. And if you just place one by clicking the right key on your mouse, you put one block down. And you have to pick the place that you want to put it, but once you've got a good flat level space for your structure, you can add one block on top of another and start to build your building. And so that is how we're doing it. We're just clicking on the next place where we want the block to go, and then we're clicking in and putting. So this is quick move, but we showed you how we added some door. We're adding blocks around for a wall, and essentially one wall is getting built, and now another wall right next to it. And these blocks are starting to form, as you can see, a bit of a rectangle structure. And put in a piece of glass, go around, and just keep adding blocks to the structure until you've got enough pieces of the puzzle to make yourself a building. And that's what we're working on here. So we'll keep going with planks and planks, adding them in until you get placement of all 4 of your walls. This is a very simple structure. You can make it bigger. Now we're going to break a block just because we want to show you how to do that. In this block, picking the pickaxe, which is in position number 5, or I should say the diamond axe, And just right or clicking on that left button will get rid of that block. And then you notice because we were close to the block, that block went right back into our inventory. And it's so you put something in the wrong place, you can fix it by breaking a block and keep on going. So let's go with some more blocks. And these are the logs. The logs are going on the corners. You don't have to do it that way. That's just the choice of design here. And we're putting blocks into the rest of this wall to complete that building. And now you can go inside and put a roof on it. Let's do a glass roof. So we're popping the ceiling in. And now you have an enclosure with a door that can open and close, and you can put items inside of it, clean up the place, and you've got yourself a little building. All right, so we've talked quite a bit about all the different pieces of playing the game, but I do know that there's bad guys out there. What about them, and how can you avoid them? What do you do to survive?
Well, this is why we built our structure. If there's certain bad guys that will show up, 4 in particular that are main. There's one called zombies, which a lot of people know what they do. They just come at you, and when they touch you, they damage you. There's skeletons that have a bow and arrow, and they'll shoot you every now and then. There's a creeper that will walk up to you and will try to explode itself to damage you. And then there's a spider that basically whenever it touches you, it damages you.
Oh man, all that stuff sounds pretty scary to me. So how do you survive when these bad guys are out there? First of all, I think they only come out at night. Is that right?
Yes, they only come out at night, sometimes during the day, but that's in either really dark areas or in caves.
Okay, so and a good strategy would be to try to avoid them by avoiding the nighttime, right? How do you do that?
You can sleep in a bed. And a bed is another recipe that we talked about.
Okay.
So if you have the correct materials to make a bed, use the recipe book, and it'll show you how. You'll need wood and wool, and that's...
Okay, so you put your bed together inside your structure, which is that little house that we made, and then you get on it and you can sleep through the night, right? But if
Correct.
you don't and you're out there, then the bad guys could get you if you're out in the open area.
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead.
One more thing. There's 3 ways to either get away from them or hurt them back. There's running away, just run as fast as you can. Try to hope they don't see you. And there's hiding. You can go into your little structure and just close the door, and they won't find you. And there's fighting, which you'll need some tools, but you can eventually hit them with your sword or whatever,
Okay.
and it will damage them, and eventually, if they can damage you and eventually kill you, but you can also damage them and eventually kill them.
Okay. All right, I think we're going to need a demo to show this. What do you
Yeah.
think? All right, let's do
Definitely.
that. We're building and it's night out. So that's when the bad guys are out there. And we're going to, you want to stay safe, you stay in your building. If you want to get the night to pass till the morning, you put a bed in, like we mentioned earlier, and you just get in the bed and the morning comes very, very quickly. But we're going to go out at nighttime and venture out just to demonstrate what it's like to do a little survival in the world when there are bad guys. You're going to find some out there. Now, you never know right where they are, so we're going to look and see way out in the distance there. You'll see there's a bad guy coming up, and he's coming towards us right away. And our solution is to swing the sword at him to get rid of him. And there's 2 of them out there now. So these are zombies. And the way to protect yourself is to strike the zombie until they effectively die in the process of this battle. So here they are coming at us. We have to hit them a number of times in order to make that happen because the stone sword is not so powerful. And there they are. They've no longer attacking us. But there are some others out there, and they're still going to keep coming as long as you're outside at night. And so here we are fighting the battle with one more. And there down he goes. Now, if you want to stay safe, again, you go back into your house and close the door, and they won't be able to get you, and you can restore a little bit of your health by eating some food. That's how you do the battle. It just gets more and more intense the longer you're out there, and what you might find is going to be different. So, okay, that's our demo on fighting and survival, but let's say some people are playing the game and they don't really want to deal with boogeymen. They don't want to deal with bad guys out there at all. Isn't there another option for how to play the game?
Well, there's one more option, and it's called creative mode. And when you start up a new world, when you have to click, there's a little box that says mode, and you have to click it until it says creative.
Okay, and then creative, how's that different than survival?
So creative, you don't have any hearts, you don't have any hunger. You're basically invincible.
Okay, and you can do the building stuff that we were showing?
Yeah. When you open up your inventory with E, with the letter E, it gives you every block, everything in the game, immediately accessible.
Okay, so if you want to have a play building, if you want to do constructive things and just do creative things, you can use the creative mode instead of the survival mode, and you never have to worry about bad guys. Is that the way I understand it?
Correct.
Plus, you have unlimited resources, it sounds like.
And one more thing about creative mode, you can fly.
You can fly. Okay, I think we better show a demo of that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so we're back in the game, but this time we're going to play in creative mode. And creative mode is different in the sense that you have unlimited resources and you also have no worry about the bad guys. And you said you can also fly, so we can show that. What does that look like? Let's see. You double click on the space bar, and then you're up in the air, and you can see you can maneuver around, and if you hold your space bar, you can see things from up above. You can go way up in the air, or you can just go back down again by clicking on the shift key. So up in the air and shift to go down, and that's how you can get around and a lot easier in creative mode. The idea here is just to build and create things. So let's try doing that. Let's just show that you have some resources that are available to you, unlimited resources really. Go into your inventory by clicking E, and now you pick whatever blocks you'd like to have or whatever tools you'd like to have and just drop them into your tool tray. So let's do that. Let's drag a couple of things down in there. We'll pick some nice green blocks, and we'll pick some different color things so you can use them in your building process. All different nice creative blocks, and then you can just start adding them into create buildings and just do without worrying about how many of them you have. You can just put your building together using that block in an unlimited way. Very different than survival mode. You don't have to worry about gathering those things. The idea of playing this game now is just about making interesting objects and doing things in a very colorful and creative way. I think that's about all I want to show. Maybe just some other products and just show you what you can use, different materials. It's quite a different experience, and I think most people that play Minecraft are doing it in survival, but if you're an artsy person, you might like to do the survival, the creative mode. Well, thanks for joining me today on Tech Tips for Seniors. I hope you found today's tech tip helpful. I want to say thank you to Noah for being on to help me with the recording, all the helpful information you shared. also the behind the scenes engineering when we did our demo. All of that was possible because Noah was with me. If you enjoyed the show, please let me know by leaving a note in the comments section of the episode. Also, remember to like, subscribe, and pass this on to a friend who can get something out of it. And it would also be so helpful if you left us a review. So if you've already done that, thank you so very much for doing it. And stay tuned for the next episode of Tech Tips for Seniors. Take care.